In today's video, we're going to be ranking all the FNaF games. But there's a twist. I'm going to be speedrunning it. So without further ado, my friends, let's get straight into it. So to start us off, we have FNaF 1. FNaF 1 is a classic, so I'm going to have to put this in the S tier. It is a very well-made game. All the characters are really well fleshed out. And of course, the mechanics are really good. There's very little lore, so it leaves you curious for more. So it makes you play more of the game to learn more about the game. So it's a very well-made game. I'm going to have to give it an S tier. And it's a classic, so you can't go wrong with it. So our next game is FNaF II. FNaF II is where things start to get a little advanced with the lore and the gameplay. It's a really well-made game with 10 animatronics, so I'm gonna have to give this an A tier. It's a good game. It's not as good as FNaF 1, but it's still a really well-made game. It would be an S tier if Balloon Boy and Toy Bonnie wasn't in it. Now to most fans, FNaF 3 was a disappointment. Springtrap's jump scare wasn't the greatest, so I'm gonna have to give this a C, honestly. The gameplay is fine, it's just really the Springtrap jump scare that's not the greatest. The gameplay in itself isn't all that scary. I think the mechanics are cool, it's just the jump scare that's really disappointing. Now FNaF 4 redeems FNaF 3. The jump scare in this was very terrifying, so I'm actually gonna have to give this an A tier. The gameplay was good, being in the bedroom, having to fend off 4 animatronics. It was scary, it's fun, and I think this is the first time we actually get to see Fredbears. The only downside about this game is that the box wasn't fully explained. The box was made, but Scott, I guess, forgot about it, or he just doesn't care enough about it anymore. I feel like if he knew what was in that box, FNaF 4 would be a lot greater. Sister Location is one of my favorite games in the franchise. The gameplay in this game is astronomical. I fell in love with it when it first came out. This technically is the first game for free roaming, so I will give this an S tier. It's extremely well made, the animatronics are good, and plus this is the first game that introduced voice acting to the franchise, and Scott did a really good job on picking out the voice actors for this game. 1020 was a pain in the ass for me to do, but I still did it, and I still actually kind of enjoyed it, and I've beat 1020 in Sister Location 4 times now. Pizzeria Simulator was the first game that introduced tycoons to the franchise. This game is really good with the tycoon, and then the office segment is extremely well made. It's scary, it's fun to do, and I liked it overall. So this belongs in the A tier. I don't see any downsides with this game. I actually really like it. I can't find any flaws or any cons with the game. All I see is pros. And plus the ending of the game is iconic to the franchise, so you can't go wrong with it. Oh boy, now we're on to Ultimate Custom Night. This game was extremely annoying for me, and I struggled so much with it. I'm gonna have to give this a D tier, believe it or not. And I'm not giving it a D tier just because of the personal experience I had playing the game. It's the jump scares that are making it a low level. All the jump scares are repurposed, like the screams are repurposed, and they shake a little bit. That's why I don't like this game so much. Cutscenes were cool and the offices were cool, but I didn't like the jump scares all that much. As well as 5020. The next installment to the FNaF franchise is Help Wanted. Help Wanted was the first VR game for the FNaF franchise. The game was really good. I'd actually have to give this an S tier. It was really good, the gameplay was good. It was a reimagining of all the games but in VR form. We also had new games like vent repairs and repairs on the animatronics, which were really good. And yes, I played this at a friend's house and it was really good, so I would know what to rank this. I really wish we could see more VR games for FNaF, but I think this is going to be the only one. Our final game for this video is Security Breach. I'm not a huge fan of the storyline, and I'm also not a fan of the endings. I'd have to give this game a B tier. I'm not a huge fan of the game at all. The comic book style endings aren't my favorite because I feel like that's a cheap way to make an ending. I feel like we could have got a lot more from this game with all the hype Studio was giving us. They spent 2 years making this game and they made like a somewhat good game. So for my final rating, I'd give FNaF 1 an S tier, FNaF 2 an A tier, FNaF 3 a C tier, FNaF 4 an A tier, Sister Location an S tier, Pizzeria Simulator an A tier, UCN a D tier, Help Wanted an S tier, and Security Breach a B tier. Now obviously you guys don't have to agree with my rating here, this is my personal opinion. So guys, feel free to leave a comment down below what you guys think the rating should be if you were to make one. And on that there guys, I'm gonna wrap up today's video here. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave it a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on the post notification bell so you guys are always notified when a new video or live stream comes up by me again. Stay safe guys, stay happy, take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out everybody.